Okay, so you guys see us install the cooler and the slide and everything some time ago. And we like to do some off-roading. We like to picnic on the trail a little bit and do some overlanding as well. So we're outfitting the rest of the area back here for the Bronco for a few more things. One of the things we're going to do today is we're going to install a flip-down table here to use with some of the things we're going to take along with us for some cooking. We got this this Jetboil pack here, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. This is a really nice set, though. Comes complete. Don't forget your warning. It's got these nice pans that come with it. Lids for the pans. It's positioned inside the pot, and then you have the Jetboil itself, which is actually it's a 2-burner setup. You can open it up like this. I haven't actually used this one yet. I've used them before, but we need a place to set these 2 burners and to be able to, cook a grilled cheese sandwich or whatever on the trails. So we have this fold-down table here, and there's a lot of fold-down tables in the market. I considered building my own to start with, but we're going to test out this less expensive one made by Rock Slide, and we're going to install it back here. I did go ahead and I read through their instructions, and we're going to install this a little differently than they instruct for a few reasons. The placement of it puts this actually interfering with our cooler slide here, so I need to bring it up a little bit. So we're going to make our own holes. And I also, on a day-to-day basis, when I'm driving a Bronco around, I don't like to have things rattling around, so I'm going to make this very easily removable. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill some holes in here, and we are going to put in thread certs. We have a tool for this. If you don't know what it is, we'll give you a link in the description for where to buy it off of Amazon and the pieces for it. It's basically like a big handheld rivet. You'll see us use it in a few minutes, but it'll allow for the nut part of this to stay threaded into the door, which will make very easy removal for this table just in case it rattles on a day-to-day basis. So we're going to get started. If you're sitting there right now and you've done this before and you're like, man, this is going to go bad, please laugh now. I think we're right. Okay, we've got our first hole started here, and we're going to need to make it just a little bit bigger for our thread cert. This here is a thread cert, and we'll do a demonstration on the bench and show you how these work. But basically, this will go in this hole, and then it will squash and hold itself there, and you'll be able to thread a 1/4 bolt into that, which we have. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up so this fits in there, and then we'll show you how this works on the bench. Okay, so that's what we're looking for here. Okay, so this is the tool that installs this thread cert, and basically you run it out, you put your thread cert on, you thread it onto here, thread it on down, and sometimes there's a little adjusting that has to be done back and forth with this. And then basically you pull these handles together, and if you watch that, see how that crushes, and this little lip here pinches against the metal and holds this tight. So we're about to install one of those over here. Put that in. It's real important to try to hold this nice and square when you do this, so your thread cert is nice and square in the hole. And then you're going to release it, and then you turn this part right here until it comes out, and now you have a mounting spot. We have our stainless 1/4 bolt here that threads into there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take one final test. We did some fitting before our video here to make sure that putting in this spot was going to work. But we are going to go ahead and just put this one bolt in and just verify one last time that we're good before we go drilling a bunch more holes. Okay, we actually opened the center hole up on this. They put one here that can be kind of installed with the thing closed. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there. Ethan's going to hand me a screwdriver. Start this on. When you're using stainless bolts, it's important to either put some lubricant on them or take your time going slow with them. Stainless heats up, and if you were to run this in with a gun right now, it would potentially bind and rip the threads out of this thread serge. So I do like using these stainless cat bolts, but we're going to go ahead and do it by hand here and check this out. So we have this in, and I'm already seeing it pulling away a little bit, which means we're going to have to use some spacers. So we're going to bring this back out to the point where we would need a spacer at. We're going to let that there. And then we're going to go ahead and carefully close this and make sure that we don't hit anything. And if you look up in here, we look like we do have the clearance that we need. And we're going to continue with our install. Okay, so with this center bolt up there, we marked the spots where those other points are on the Bronco. We don't actually know that they are drill points, but I think Ford intended for us to drill in those spots. So I've transferred those down in both spots here to the exact same line as these, which they run on the same line on there. So we're going to go ahead and drill these out so these are ready and they go in the same spot. We're going to go ahead and center punch these. Now we're going to go ahead and drill these. We're using a 1/4 inch drill bit. And then we're sizing it up one more size, which is 5/16. Okay, so we actually drilled these 1964s to give us just a little extra room around these 1/4 inch bolts. I said 5/16 a minute ago. It wasn't what I meant. So we just want these to be a little loose, so this is an easy install. If you're doing it the way I'm doing it, I would suggest doing exactly what we just did. We're going to now go over to the Bronco, and we're going to go ahead and tap these as well. Okay, we got our pilot hole started. We're going to move up to our bigger drill bit. Just clean that up real nice. Alright, we've drilled 3 successful holes without any damage, so that's a good sign. Put a thread serge on again. Again, we're using 1/4 20. You can buy both the thread search and this tool on Amazon. I've used this tool countless times. It's just really nice. You get a spot where you want to take something on and off, and it's just really nice to be able to put something in that'll hold, and you can do exactly this. Okay, so now we've got all of our holes drilled, and what we do now, we have our stainless steel cap screws. We have a couple washers here for spacers, and I also had these rubber things laying around. I'm gonna go ahead and use these to help with vibration, noise. I super don't like that, so I got 3 of these we're gonna put in. Ethan's gonna hold it for me this time. It's a little hard to do all these pieces. Let's put this one first. 2 washers. Alright, we got that one there holding it. I'm going to grab a few more. And these are going to be a little more fun to install because we're going to have it behind here. Rotate this up, Ethan. Put that on. Put 2 of these on. And what we're going to do, since we already know we're kind of fighting this here, is I'm going to let him rotate this back down. And we're going to put it on the other side before we start this one in, so we have the motion here. So rotate that back down. Right. Washers first. Got it. Put the cap bolt in. And then put 2 washers right to the thing, put the rubber against the Bronco. Oh.
Alright, I got mine on.
Change it back up. To our spot. Right here, start our bolting. Now we have our 3 bolts on here. We're going to tighten these down, and we're going to see how this sits, and then we're going to decide if we're going to add a bolt down here at the bottom. I feel like, again, for vibration's sake, we're going to add at least 1 more bolt to the bottom to hold this. But basically what we have here now, though, is we have this all set up so that we can come in here very fast at the end of a trip, and we can go ahead and just pop this back off and store it in the meantime. Okay, we got that there. We're gonna try this out, see how it sits. It is a little bit high for cooking, but we'll get our Jetboil opened up on it. Yeah, and I think this will actually work pretty well for us. So, there it is. I think we're going to go ahead and finish our install. Alright, now that we've got this all here, we'll go ahead and get it away. We'll take a look and see if we do need to add some bolts on the back side down here. But what I'm looking at now, looks like we will, because this is magnetically attached to this, so trying to pull this is adding some force and getting some
bounce from that. And like he said, he likes to keep the vibration down while he's driving. So we'll add some bolts to that, some more piece of rubber and a washer, and we will get that taken care of.
Alright, we're going to add one more bolt here for anti-vibration. We're just going to drill right through their plate this time. There actually is not a drill spot on the other side. We're not going to worry about that. But we will start this, then we're going to stop. We're going to remove this and then finish drilling it out. So there's no glass in this. There's no glass inside this door, and there's very few wires in it. So I feel pretty comfortable kind of drilling everywhere. Hopefully we don't have a problem, but we're going to go ahead and drill this. Yeah, so different than these spots up here. This was a whole lot thinner. So that's pretty interesting, though. I'm thinking maybe Ford did intend for us to drill those. Alright, we're going to size our hole up for the thread cert. Add one more thread cert in here. Alright, we're all set. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do our final install here. Start in. Raise up the bottom part. Okay. Alright, and what we found here is we've discovered that we actually didn't even need that one in the center. So 2 holes in the top. It was nice having that one for guide purposes, but these are going to work just fine. Just having 3 bolts is sufficient for this, and hopefully this will keep it from rattling, making any noise, and get us out in the woods cooking. So we're gonna do a little bit of development here and make a rack for us that bolts into these bolts on the top, comes up to about here, runs across, and then dives back down, so we can store more stuff up here. We have this area down here that we're getting ready to fill. We have all this stuff over here on the table that we're collecting up to start going in here. This is a BLUETTI power station to power the refrigerator when the Bronco's not running. We got a Milwaukee air compressor. We may swap that out for an ARB in the future. We got our Jetboil. And we also got our tow strap, which is this is one of those stretchable tow straps, or making it really easy if you got to tow somebody out of the woods or get towed yourself, God forbid. So we're just gonna do a little test fitting in here, but in the future we're gonna do a little better organizing. But you kind of got to have the pieces to know what you're putting in here to start with. So I would suggest, if you're doing this yourself, maybe start looking at your own parts and see what it is that you're going to be carrying and how you're going to go about carrying it. So these are the pieces we have in here so far. We still haven't even got to the back seat. So we have plenty of room left for a lot of fun outdoor overlanding things. Okay, so we're back and doing our intermission for you guys while we were having lunch. We drove around with the rock slide table on the Bronco, and I actually found that while it has great surface, it was very affordable, easy to install. It rattled a little bit for my taste. I could do some things to it to get it to stop rattling. I had also at the same time purchased one of the outdoor adventure versions, which has the cutting board inside of it. It's not quite the surface area, and it's heavier. It's a lot heavier. But this one, because of the simplistic nature of it, it doesn't have a lot of rattling. So we're going to go ahead and give this an install. We're going to see that it clears the drawer slide for the refrigerated cooler, and drive around and see how we like that one. Give you an idea, price point on this was $300, and this one was $5.50, I believe, almost $600 to get this one. So it was a lot more expensive. This one has a stainless steel tray. I went ahead and got this in a lighter color, not the black, just for ease of wipe down. And it also came with a IKEA knife holder that will go here, so you can just kind of hang your stuff there as well. So I don't know if we'll use that or not, but we have it. We'll probably put it on and give it a try. But for the moment, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start disassembling over here on the Bronco, and start for reassembly. Okay, so this one requires the removal of this plate as well. You saw earlier in the video we removed this plate and didn't even end up having to use it. We actually broke some tabs on it when we did it as well. So I'm not unhappy to see this getting erased from the equation. They actually use these holes here. They give you these cool certs to go in, and those become the screw points. So we won't be doing the rib cert. This is going to be a faster install than the last time. So we got this off, and we're going to move on to the next part here. So we have these red ones, and then we have these black ones. And the red ones are a little smaller than the black ones. And they go in ever so very simply. Okay, so we got those installed, and basically if you look real close here, we've installed these, and as you can see, these are made for screws to go in, and they separate a little bit like a an anchor you would put in a wall or otherwise. So it's a real nice design, actually. We're going to go ahead and install the padding on the tray itself now, and then we're going to go ahead and hang it. Okay, so we have our table oriented the same as the instructions. If you look carefully, there's a taper on the bottom of this that indicates that this is the bottom. And you can see in the instructions it also has the taper. We're going to go ahead and start installing this foam, as it says here. And this is going to go between the table and the door on the Bronco, and it's going to help with vibration. Which, you know, if you're driving down the road and have a bunch of stuff rattling around, it's not really something you want to hear. And off-road is accentuated because of rocks and everything else. So we're happy to be putting this foam on. We're going to get started. It wasn't super important that this is straight, but you know, try to get it straight when possible. We're gonna peel this off. This was only sticky on the one side, so this is just a smooth surface now to hit on the door. There we are. Okay, now we got a series of screws here. These will be the screws that we'll put in. They gave us a few extras of these. These are some temporary placement ones. And I need to read the directions here and figure out what these are actually for. Okay, so all these certs are put in, and the red ones you want to position them kind of in the center of these slotted holes. And after you got those all positioned, you're going to just stick the screwdriver in and turn it left and right just so that they kind of lock into place. This is nice, you have some adjustment here. I really like the way that they utilize these. These bottom ones, you're going to stick this one in on the left side and push it to the center here. There's a stop behind that it stops at. You don't want to get it on the other side of that because it'll miss the holes completely. So push it to that one, and then this black one here, all the way to that side, all the way to your right side. And then again, same deal. You hear them kind of click into place after you got them opened up. Doesn't take a lot of force, and they're set. Then we have these two studs here that are going to thread into the top centers. That's going to make it easy for us hanging to start with. So we're going to go ahead and get these run in there. I'm doing this by hand just because of the length of these. I had a little bit of personal concern about them hitting the back side of the door. I kind of don't think that's going to happen, but I just wasn't certain. So, okay, so that is in there. Alright, we'll go on to our next step. Now in the instructions they showed kind of taking this apart. I had help. I'm not going to take it apart. I'm going to hang it the way it is. But what we are going to do is we're going to slide the cutting board out of the bottom. Take a little bit away from it. A little bit there. Now, they had us measuring from this point to this point on that plastic piece to see what our difference was from the ground up, to tell which of these holes we were going to be using. We have done that, but what we're also going to do, just based off of the angle that we have with our suspension, I wanted to put a level on it this time. So I'm going to go ahead and set a level on there. And now we're going to position this to fit. Okay, and we have gotten about as close down as we're going to get with that. So, Okay, now before we get too crazy here, because I'm seeing some draw up happening, we're going to go ahead and clip this in and see that everything's working. It does seem to be doing what it's supposed to do. I'm going to go and put some more screws in it. Okay. Now something we need to do that we did with our last table is we're going to need to shut our door now and make sure that we have clearance from our drawer slide. I am aware of the fact that I may not have the clearance this time, and I'm accepting of that, and if I don't have the clearance, we're going to make modifications to this to accommodate for that. Clear? And we lucked out and it cleared. Now, as you can see, this being on here, very small amount here, but this thing's pretty rattle free. And this is something I really liked about it. I like the idea of having the cutting board pull out here. We're going to set our grill on there and just kind of get a feature look at it. Yeah, so you can see this is going to be some good space to be able to set your pots here, cut over here. Seems nice and sturdy, and I like it. I think I like it better than the last one. Okay, so on those two studs, we went in and put some rubber washers behind there that they supplied, and we will put these lock nuts on, and this will hold the magnetic. I don't know that we're gonna leave this on here. I'm gonna try it for right now. I don't know that I'll use it, but it's an awesome feature to have. They also supplied us with these rubber bushings to go here again with help with the anti-rattle, and these little clips that go over these pull tabs to just make it a little easier on your fingers. And we went ahead and installed those. And again, we got our nice cutting board. It actually comes out on both sides. So if you're cooking here and you're left-handed, or if you're over here right-handed and you set stuff down, it can go either way. And the beauty of this is when you close it, it's held. It can't go out. So push these both in place. You see these little extra levers here that help with opening it. It's real nice feature. But this doesn't slide now. I might put a little bit of padding on one end of this just to kind of help with that little bit, but overall, I feel pretty good about this. It's a nice look. It's a really nice table. I'm pretty happy with that, and the fact that it fits and closes, I think we're gonna run that for a while. Hopefully next time we see us cooking on the trail. Secret little place in the woods. About to have a little picnic and try out some of the things we've been building and make sure we have all the things that we need for a real trip. Today we get to try out our tailgater. Start getting set up, have a little bit of lunch. Gotta have music. We got the Jetboil here. This will be my first time using it. Don't judge. It might go horribly wrong. Hopefully it doesn't. No guarantees. Probably should have read the instructions. Burn nose. Warning. Hope they weren't important. Trash. What to do with trash in nature? We got our trusty pump hammer trash bag. Always take your trash with you. Leave nature better than you found it. It's important. So we have the Jetboil stove, and it comes with all the cool pots and pans. We're gonna cook burgers here in a minute. We also got the GSI outdoor. It's like a kitchen kit. So this is gonna come in real handy for cooking out here. It's got a little cutting board, scrubbies, place for soap, supplies, knife. We're gonna pull a knife out for a minute, and then magnets up there. How cool is that? We got spatulas, got these fold-out tongs. I really like these. I'm looking forward to using these for flipping the burgers. I'm gonna keep a little spatula out too, just in case. But that's mainly what I'm gonna use. We got this. This is nice the way they made these so they lock together. They while they turn, they really lock well. So we're all set up here. While I was on their website, I also got suckered into buying some other stuff. I got this cool cooking pot set. Haven't tried it yet, but got that cool collapsible idea going on. Little lid. And they made this one. I'm not a big fan of Teflon, but this is Teflon. If you don't scratch it, it's reasonably safe. But you can basically make soup with this. It's silicone rubber outer base. It makes it hot, but it still is on the stove there. You can cook with it. So I see a lot of advantages to having something like this. I wish it wasn't Teflon coated, but we have it. A couple other things we have here. So we have our little cooler for the smaller trip. Our little refrigerated cooler is being powered by a 700 watt BLUETTI system. Got some gloves, got a medical kit, air compressor, a recovery kit, some water for cleanup, and a jumper box in case we end up with a dead battery or someone on the trail does. Okay, so we got our Jetboil all hooked up here. We're going to go ahead and give some ignition. Directions say to turn this all the way open and then hit your striker. We got fire. Can't hardly see it, but we have fire. We'll back that off a little bit. We don't want to burn our burgers. Get our pot set over here. And then we need our burgers. A little bit of butter first. I always like to add a little bit of butter. Alright, and this kind of tells us that my pot's just a little, my pan's just a little bit hot. Get that butter going in there. And a bare minute. Got our cheese. No burgers can completely without cheese. We got our burgers here. These are real burgers. Get those cooking. Just a little bit more heat. Over there. We got our little table set up over there. And some garlic salt. A little bit of cayenne pepper. It's going to be quite a good burger. First time on a camp stove, but I think we can pull it off. Well, maybe it's the first time on a camp stove. First time on this camp stove. We'll be ready in about 2 minutes after we bring a roll of paper towels. Trail cooking going good so far. Happiness means food on the trail.
Wagyu burger on the trail.
Ooh, not bad.
All right, I'm going in. Going in. Very good.
So, our first cookout experience was a success. Got all of our trash packed back up here, and we're going to get back on the trail. See you next time.